is amped up, ready to get this season underway, as are we. Back with more in a minute. Welcome from the home of the Mets, Citi Field in Queens, New York. Opening day baseball on the show. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates going up against the New York Mets. Along with Chris Singleton, I'm John Sciambi. So the New York Mets were not in the postseason last year, but they've made some key additions, and they're among the league favorites now. There's a real hunger around this team, Chris, and with the fan base, they really think they've got a shot to make some noise this year.
They do, Boog, and I don't think that's unrealistic. They made some nice moves in the offseason, tried to build up their roster, and now they look primed for a big year. Of course, that's not a guarantee of success. We've seen teams go on big spending sprees in the offseason in the past and just not back it up once the games start, but they look like a real contender to me.
First pitch coming your way next. And taking the ball for the Mets, Freddie Peralta. Singy, he's a guy that can rack up a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah, bro, this is a guy that struck out over 200 batters just a year ago. So he's definitely one of those guys that's got ridiculous swing and miss stuff. Hitters have to make a decision early, and that causes them to many times guess wrong and end up missing the baseball. But when you got a guy that's taking the mound that has the ability to send guys walking back to the dugout, it can be pretty fun to watch, and hopefully that's what we'll see in this one. Four-pitch guy, he's got some options to work with in terms of keeping hitters off balance. So we'll see how he decides to utilize those weapons through this start here. And whether or not he's able to mix them all in early, or if he wants to hold something back a little bit later, maybe second, third time through the order, and give them something they haven't seen. It's tough when you know a guy's got that in his back pocket. As a hitter, you really have to stay on your toes.
The 0-1. Drilled in the air, high and deep right field. That one carrying. Out of here. The first batter of the game leaves the yard, and the Pirates take the lead. It's 1-0.
Well, you got to love a game that brings some action from the jump, and at the plate, he was looking for a pitch to absolutely drive. And, you know, leadoff hitters aren't up there anymore just working the count, trying to get on. They're looking to make some noise and do some damage.
Lau at the plate. And a foul ball. Peralta making his first start of the year. And he was selected for the All-Star game last year. Now the 0-1. That one fouled off.
The real threats are coming up. Already given up a home run in this inning. He's going to really have to bear down.
Good job to fight that one off. Oh, 0-2 now. Laser could be trouble. Makes the turn and heads for second. And he starts his afternoon off right with a double.
Back against the wall with 2 strikes, but found a way. Loud contact leads to the double. I mean, you could tell it had extra bases written all over it as it jumped off of his stick.
Runner in scoring position, no outs. Brian Reynolds here. Makes the catch, 1 down. Here's a Pirates lineup now. The sluggers in this lineup might not be too happy about the fact that the wind is blowing in today, Chris.
Yeah, and you hear pitchers talk about how good it feels when the wind is at their back. And for hitters, you almost feel like beyond just the pitcher coming at you, you've got this other force coming against you. So important to try to get on top of the ball in terms of hitting line drives, maybe really hard ground balls with a good exit velocity that'll get you a base hit, because it's very frustrating. You just hit one on the screws, think it's going to go out of the ballpark, and an outfielder is camped underneath it in front of the warning track.
One out and a runner at second here on opening day. Oh, he can't hang on. Still manages a throw, and it's in time. It wasn't the smoothest play you'll see today, but they still get the out. Ryan O'Hearn comes up to hit. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. And they hold him at third. 90 feet away with 2 out.
That is 6. Shortstop,
Jared Triolo digs in now. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. In to score is the runner from third. It's an RBI single, and they lead by 2.
Picks himself up an RBI. Smash that one through the infield for the knock. When it's hit that hard, it makes it very tough on the infielders to make any sort of play.
At the plate for Pittsburgh, Spencer Horwitz.
Overhand curve. Low middle.
He swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1.
Circle change. Low outside. Circle change.
2 on, 2 outs. Tapped at the plate, but it's a foul ball.
Overhand curve. Low inside.
Just missed.
Overhand curve. Low outside.
Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. But 2 runs for them, and they jump ahead. Bottom half of inning number 1 coming up. It's the Pirates 2 and the Mets nothing. The starter today, Singy, is Paul Skeens. The young phenom has taken the league by storm.
No doubt about it, and he followed up that Rookie of the Year in 2024 with the Cy Young Award last season. The truth is, he's not intimidated by big league hitters at all. He finished last season with a sub-2 ERA, the first pitcher in the league to pull that off in 3 years.
Back here in Queens, and on the mound for Pittsburgh in this one, Paul Skeens. Chris, a pretty remarkable season on the mound for him.
Well, no doubt he's having a great year in the strikeout department. I mean, this guy's got over 250 strikeouts on the season, which really speaks to his ability to pitch deep into ball games, to have the opportunity to start after start, rack up strikeouts, keep adding to that total. So the other side, they're going to have their work cut out for today, trying to get the barrel to the baseball.
Brings it in, 1 away. Here's a Mets lineup now. Trailing by a couple of runs already, and I'm sure they'd like to erase that deficit quickly.
Yeah, you don't want to let this deficit get into your head and you're trying to just make up the difference with one swing and you really don't have the base runners on. You've got to contribute, keep the line moving, and all of a sudden you have a big inning, everything shifts and you find yourself in the driver's seat.
Foul ball there. Swing and a miss. The 0-2. And that one hammered out of here. Soto goes deep. His first homer of the year, and they're on the scoreboard. It's 2-1.
A good hitter gets pitch recognition early. He saw exactly where that was going to be. The challenge, not get over anxious and come out of your swing. He stayed on it and got all of it.
One down. Bobichet now at the plate. Line drive. This looks like extra bases. Now he'll turn for second. And he's in there. It's a first inning double.
Pretty much a model swing on that one as he ripped it into the opposite field gap. And I'm sure he's going to be watching that one back on video because that's the kind of swing you want to bottle. So many positives that led to that knock.
One out. Runner at second. The batter now, Jorge Polanco. Line drive, base hit. Safe. In comes the run from second. It's 2-2.
Well, we're starting over again, all tied up. Nice line drive to the pull side right there, but he didn't spin off of it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the baseball in order to hit a line drive like that.
Luis Robert now. Oh, great stop. Throws from the seat of his pants. They take the force out. Quick recovery from the misplay. Pays off for the out.
Awesome job of getting to that baseball. Really good dive there. Doesn't have time to get up to his feet, so he throws from the seat of his pants, and he throws on the money.
And next is the designated hitter, Brett Beatty. High fly ball, right field. Reaching for it and brings it in. One inning in the books here. We are tied 2-2. Top of the second at the plate for Pittsburgh, Nick Gonzalez.
Four-seam fastball. Low outside.
Hey!
Four-seam fastball. Middle outside.
Fastball for a strike.
Man, that pitch was dotted. So much talent on display when this guy's out there on the hill.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
The 0-2. Fouled off, and they'll do it again.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
Here's the 0-2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball.
Slider. Low outside.
That one
Yep,
misses.
that ball went out.
Now 1-2.
Four-seam fastball. Low inside.
Fouls it back with 2 strikes.
You could see he was trying to stay back long enough to handle the off-speed pitch, but just a little tardy on the fastball.
Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. The high heat, too much on that one. This is Joey Bart.
Middle outside. Four-seam fastball. Middle outside.
Ball, that's out.
Slider. Low outside.
And the 1-0. Late with the swing there.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
So a foul ball makes it 1-2.
Overhand
Tied up
curve.
here in the early
Low
going.
inside.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That K is his 3rd of the game.
Well, classic pitch sequencing there to change eye levels for the punch out. That fastball on the pitch before was up. It was very competitive, and that gets you
Circle
thinking that
change.
he might try to climb the
Low
ladder.
outside.
But then the curveball out of that same
Ball
tunnel
one.
just falls off the table, and you can't make contact.
Cruz in the box here. Lets that one go for a
Low
ball.
inside. Circle change. Low middle.
2 down, nobody on. Swings through that one for strike 2.
Four-seam fastball. Low outside.
Got him swinging for the K. And he strikes out the side here in the second. Down in order go the Pirates. Score remains 2-2. Back here at Citi Field and stepping in for New York, Marcus Semien. Whacked out to center field. That's well struck. Carrying well. Out of here. Marcus Semien goes deep. His first homer of the year, and they jump ahead in the second. It's 3-2. He only needed one swing to square it up.
Not wasting any time in that at bat, Boog. Aggressive, and it paid off. Love to see a hitter aggressive on the first pitch of an at-bat. You watch him from the on-deck circle, so when you step in the box, you're ready to pull the trigger wherever it's at. Really good job by the hitter. Total conviction on that swing.
And now we'll see one of the top prospects in baseball step in the box for his major league debut. Carson Benj swings through that one for strike 1. Hard ground ball, base knock. Back-to-back hits, and they were hit hard. Carson Benj with his first major league hit, and this is a moment I'm sure he'll never forget. Congrats.
Yeah, great moment for him and his family. A guy works so hard and has to wait so long for this to happen. And when it does, it can kind of be overwhelming, dude. You still have to stay locked in on the game, but it's great when you can take a minute to just appreciate what you've done and how hard you've worked to get here.
Francisco Alvarez up now for the Mets. Sliced hard but foul. One on, nobody out. A run in here on opening day. Out towards right center field. And there's one away.
Up next for the Mets, shortstop Francisco Lindor.
Back to the top of the Mets order, Francisco Lindor. The next to hit, fly to center his first time. That's a hit. They get it in quickly. So first and second now, one out.
Up next for the Mets.
Just a cookie down the middle. I mean, those are the ones you dream about. Ones in the cage, you're just hoping you get in the ball game. Right down the middle, not a whole lot of velocity, right on top of it.
And now it's Juan Soto. He's already homered in this game. Swinging a foul out of play. Two on, one out. Pulled hard, but it's a foul ball.
He's got one already tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops another one here.
Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. This one drilled right center field. That one heading for the fence and gone. his second home run of the game, and they throw 3 on the board.
You almost feel bad for the baseball when Juan Soto hits it. His swing is so powerful. Well, he's living up to his power-hitting reputation today, Boog. A second homer just confirms what we already knew about his ability to hit the ball a long way.
One down. Now the third baseman, Bobichette. Check swing, and he went. And that is strike 1.
Well, a really rough inning out there on the mound. And this is one of those where you learn a lot about a guy's toughness and his ability to turn the page and keep pressing forward.
0-1 down. High fly ball, pretty well struck out towards right center. And that one is off the wall. In safely with a double, his second of the day.
2 hits for him in this one, both for extra bases. Got to feel good about that. Put a really nice balanced swing on it, and when you can rope one into the gap like that, you're taking extra bases from the first couple of steps out of the box, and he'll feel real good about that one.
1 out, runner at second. Jorge Polanco getting ready to hit. Singled and drove in a run his first time through. That one is absolutely belted. Carrying well. Gone. That one made it to the upper tank. Jorge Polanco blasts one out. Their third home run of the inning. And they add a couple more. It's 8-2.
Sitting first pitch fastball, and that's what he delivered. He guessed right, squared it up, and he made it look way too easy. Looks like this guy was looking out over the plate, but he was ready to turn on the inside fastball. So direct to the pitch. Absolutely blasted out of this ballpark.
Here comes the manager out of the dugout, and he'll make a move to the bullpen. Paul Skeens gives way, and this is one he'd like to forget. Back with a new arm after this. Pirates with a new arm on the mound, Hunter Barco.
I think it's got to be a little tough coming in out of the pen when your guys are trailing so big on the scoreboard. Just doesn't have the same intensity to it, but he's got to find a way because these batters count the same for his stats, obviously, regardless of the score.
Here's Luis Robert, also known as La Pantera. Check swing, and he went. That's strike 1. Now it's belted. Deep to left. Way out of here. Home run. They do it again. Back-to-back homers. And they add to their lead. He absolutely crushed that one.
No doubt about that one, Boog. We knew it wasn't coming back. Back-to-back jacks, and this club is fired up right now, Boog. I mean, this is the kind of thing where you really start to notice hitters in a lineup feeding off each other, and the collective confidence just continues to grow.
So digging in, Brett Beatty. He's 0 for 1. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. So far, 7 runs across in the frame, bottom half of inning number 2. And that's through there for a strike. And the count is 0-2.
Well, he's gotten ahead with 2 pitches down in the zone. He has plenty of options right here. He can go up, he can go away, he can add velocity, he can subtract.
There's a swing and a drive. That one's carrying. That's down. One hops off the wall. Throw cut off to second. In there. That's a double.
Everything came together for him. When you connect and it jumps off your bat like that, you're thinking double at the very least. Put a great swing on it, and man, he wasn't fooled at all.
Now it's Marcus Semien back into the box for the second time this inning, and we remember what he did the first time around.
Yes, we do, and now he has the chance to do it again. Some of the biggest names in baseball history have pulled this off. He's going for 2 home runs in the same inning.
Liner, base hit. Stop sign goes up at third. Runners at the corners with one. And next for the Mets, Carson Bench. Swings through that one for strike 1.
Splitter. Low outside.
Swing and a miss as he was out front.
Great spot to be in right here for the pitcher. He can either strike this guy out or get a ground ball double play.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again.
Splitter. Low middle. Splitter. Low middle.
Lefty out of the stretch. Runners at first and third. Stays alive.
Slider. Low outside. Slider. Low outside.
Swings and misses, and there's 2 down.
He had him out in front, which isn't easy to do against a hitter like this, known for using the entire field. Just couldn't sit back long enough on that one.
And now the catcher comes up to him, Francisco Alvarez. Fouled off left side.
Four-seam fastball. Low outside. Slider. Middle inside.
2 on, 2 outs. On the ground at first. That's a base hit as a run scores. So the lineup flips over. And now, Francisco Lindor.
Hey!
Already 8 runs across this inning here in game 1 of this 3-game set. Hammered down the right side, but foul.
Four-seam fastball. Low inside.
And it's fouled off. They'll do it again.
Man, he'd like to have that pitch back.
Swing and a pop-up. Foul territory for the catcher. That one is foul, and he'll see another. Jackknifes out of the way.
Well, this is a guy that can be frustrating for pitchers because he fouls off so many pitches and grinds out the at-bat. I'm sure there's some times where a pitcher would rather just give up a first pitch single than have to waste 6 or 7 pitches on one hitter.
Goes down swinging for the strikeout. That one ends the onslaught and the inning. So they bat around and score 8 times to take the lead. We head on now to the top of the 3rd. It's the Mets 10 and the Pirates 2. Back here in Queens, at the plate for Pittsburgh, Brandon Lau. Towards first, but that rolls foul. Tap to first. And that's foul. The 0-2. Line drive, and that's got extra bases written all over it. Around first, heading for 2. And he's got his second double of the game.
Having a really nice game here. That's his second extra base hit. When you can turn a ball around at 107 off the bat, it's going to make you feel really good inside. If he elevates that a little bit more, it's definitely out of here.
So, man aboard, Brian Reynolds, the next Pirate to hit. Swing and a line drive, base hit into left field. Here comes Lau. The run comes in from second.
Comes through with the RBI. Really good swing right there. He got a pitch that he knew he could handle, allowed himself to stay back just a tad bit longer, and he hit the ball on the screws.
Here comes Ozuna up to the plate. 0 for 1 so far. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. Coming around third is Reynolds. He'll score. It's an RBI single. It's 10-4. And now the right fielder, Ryan O'Hearn. Close one. Doesn't get the call. Ball 1. Nobody out with a pair of runs across in the frame. We're here in the top half of inning number 3.
Circle change. Low outside.
And that one clips the corner.
Very well executed changeup right there. If he can command the fastball consistently, that's going to be an important pitch in terms of him turning this outing around.
Good eye in that spot.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
4-seam fastball. Low inside.
Good eye right there.
He's just missing with some pitches that, I mean, they're not strikes, and that's what you think, oh, good pitch is a strike. But so many times pitchers are trying to tease the zone. And the last 2 pitches that he's thrown, good pitches, but even better takes.
He's got it. 1 down.
Up next for the Pirates,
Singy, here's a look at his pitch breakdown for the game.
Well, he's known for that 4-seamer, Boog, and we've seen plenty of it from him today. You don't throw one pitch this much without having plenty of confidence in it. But this lineup's gotten to him already, so he might need to shift his approach.
Triolo now in the box, comes up empty with a swing there.
Hey!
Man at first, 1 away. Can't connect on the curveball, struck him out.
Well, that's a curveball that I'm sure he wants back at the plate. 2 strikes, the sort of pitch you're hoping for, a bit of a mistake, and I'd say in a very hittable location, but clearly the break was enough to get him to swing through it.
Spencer Horwitz, the next Pirate to hit. His first at bat was a strikeout.
4-seam fastball. Middle outside.
Ball 1.
I thought that was a strike, and here's a challenge. It just shaved the zone, so they've still got both their challenges. Ozuna off of first with 2 away. And there's a foul ball.
Circle change. Middle outside.
Got him swinging for the strikeout. So he picks up his 6th strikeout of the ball game. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We head now to the home half of inning number 3. It's the Mets 10 and the Buccos 4. Welcome back. Here's a look at this team's early season projection. High fly ball down the left field line. That's back. And it one-hops the wall. Safe at second with a double. third hit for him this afternoon.
Oh, this has been a really nice game at the plate for him. He looks locked in. First pitch fastball in a great spot to do some damage, and he squared it up nicely.
Bo Bichette up to the dish. And first offering is fouled off. Runner in scoring position, nobody out here in the last half of the third. On the ground. And foul ball. That's ripped to right down the line. Could be extra bases. Coming around third is Soto. He will score. It's an RBI single, and they're pulling away up by 7 now. One man at first. At the plate, Jorge Polanco. In there at the knees.
Slider. Middle outside.
The 0-1. Up the middle. And that one finds its way through. Lead runner around second. And they're at the corners with nobody out.
Well, I don't think that pitch would have been called a strike, but he did such a nice job of
manager out of the dugout, and he's going to make a change. Hunter Barco. They hand the ball over to a new arm, Yohan Ramirez.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
Four-seam fastball. Low inside.
Here's Luis Robert. No outs. Runners at first and third. There's a strike.
Sweeper. Low outside.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Well executed pitch on the outside part of the plate.
Brett Beatty up now for the Mets. Swings through that one.
Cutter. High outside.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Sweeper. Middle inside.
Out towards left center. No one can get there. It falls in. Bichette comes around to score. It's an RBI single, and now it's 12-4.
Well done. Drives in the run. That ball right there landed in what they call the no man's land, meaning it's not really a spot on the field where you can expect anyone to get to it easily. I mean, it's a tough play going back for the shortstop, but also for the outfielders trying to come in. They got to go a long way as well.
Sweeper. Middle outside.
2 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss. And a count 1-2.
Middle outside.
Swings through that one. It's a strikeout.
Up next for the Mets, right fielder.
So up next for New York, Carson Bench. He's 1 for 2 so far in his debut.
First big league game, check. First hit, check. First multi-hit game, that would be nice. We'll see.
Four-seam fastball. High middle.
2 on, 2 outs. That one finds the zone, and it's 0-2.
High inside.
Got him swinging for the strikeout. Good job at damage control right there. So it's 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors and a couple left on. 3 innings complete. It's the Mets 12 and the Buccos 4. Back here at Citi Field as we go to the top of the 4th.
Clearly down in this ball game, and you can't look at the deficit and try to get it all back in one swing. It's got to come one at bat at a time, and even shrink it down smaller, pitch to pitch. Make that guy on the mound work to get you out.
To the right side, Simeon. Over to first. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Up next for the Pirates, catcher Joey Bart.
Here's Joey Bart now. 0 for 1. He struck out swinging last time. Liner caught at second.
Nothing you can do about those as a hitter. Even though you know that, they still drive you absolutely crazy.
So the Pirates batting order turns over. Here's O'Neal Cruz. He's already homered here in this one. Lined into right. And he makes the catch. And that'll do it. Bucks go down quietly. They're in trouble here. It's 12-4. This one isn't exactly close, Chris. Let's go off script for a moment.
Okay.
Were we on script?
Never.
All right, Singy, when you played, how much of a fashionista were you? Would you come to the ballpark dressed to the nines?
No, I wouldn't. Even on the road trips, I was, pretty average. There were some guys that would dial it up, and there'd be some outfits where you're kind of double taking and saying, where in the world are you going? But overall, I'd say I kept it low key.
So back to the top of the order. Now up to hit Francisco Lindor. 1 for 3. Swung on, popped up left side. Gonzalez under it. And a couple of quick outs.
Up next for the Mets, left fielder Juan Soto.
Here's Juan Soto. And the way he's going in this one, we've been waiting for his spot to come around again.
All right, listen, everyone. Stop what you're doing right now. This guy's got 2 home runs already. Now he's going for number 3.
Soto, multi-time All-Star, 27 years old, and he's a former home run derby champ.
Sinker. Low outside.
2 down, nobody on. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Make it 4 strikeouts for him on the bump today. Down in order go the Mets, but they hold a 12-4 lead. All set for the start of the inning. At the plate for Pittsburgh, Brandon Lowe. Hard hit, right side. Simeon, toss over to first. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Up next for the Pirates, left fielder Brian Reynolds.
B-Ray coming to the plate now. Swing and a high fly ball left field. Soto under it. And there's 2 away.
Up next for Pittsburgh, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna.
Marcell Ozuna coming up to hit. Swings and blasts one deep to left center. That's down. 1 hops off the wall. And that keeps the inning alive.
Up next,
Ryan O'Hearn,
right
the
fielder,
next Pirate to
Ryan
hit.
O'Hearn.
1 for 2. Hot shot, and he can't knock it down. And that extends the inning. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Jared Triolo. Ripped on the ground to second. They get the force, and that is that. It's the Mets 12 and the Buccos 4. Back here in Queens, ready to go for the last half of the inning. Obichet up now for the Mets. And first offering is fouled off. Bottom of the sixth. Carmen Majinski gets handed the rock out of the pen. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the eighth. Isaac Matson. And first offering is fouled off. And we're back. It's the top of the ninth. So 2 down. Here's Marcell Ozuna. This one lifted in the air, left field. Soto gets under it. He puts it away, and that'll do it. The Mets take the season opener and move to 1-0.
Offensive explosion today for these players. They gave up a few runs, but they had more than enough firepower to turn this one into a blowout.